Richard Feynman. What I cannot create, I do not understand. Physics is like sex. Sure, it may give some practical results, but that's not why we do it. I would rather have questions that can't be answered than answers that can't be questioned. The first principle is that you must not fool yourself, and you are the easiest person to fool. Science is a way of trying not to fool yourself. I think I can safely say that nobody understands quantum mechanics. You can know the name of a bird in all the languages of the world, but when you're finished, you'll know absolutely nothing whatever about the bird. So let's look at the bird and see what it's doing. That's what counts. The imagination of nature is far, far greater than the imagination of man. Study hard what interests you the most in the most undisciplined, irreverent, and original manner possible. Nature uses only the longest threads to weave her patterns, so each small piece of her fabric reveals the organization of the entire tapestry. It is the facts that matter, not the proofs. Physics can progress without the proofs, but we can't go on without the facts. Nature isn't classical, damn it, and if you want to make a simulation of nature, you'd better make it quantum mechanical. Fall in love with some activity and do it. Nobody ever figures out what life is all about, and it doesn't matter. Explore the world. Nearly everything is really interesting if you go into it deeply enough. The great pleasure in life is doing what people say you cannot do. The highest forms of understanding we can achieve are laughter and human compassion. I was born not knowing, and have had only a little time to change that here and there. Scientific knowledge is a body of statements of varying degrees of certainty, some most unsure, some merely sure, none absolutely certain. I don't know anything, but I do know that everything is interesting if you go into it deeply enough. The worthwhile problems are the ones you can really solve, or help solve, the ones you can really contribute something to. It doesn't matter how beautiful your theory is. It doesn't matter how smart you are. If it doesn't agree with experiment, it's wrong. The first principle is that you must not fool yourself, and you are the easiest person to fool. Reality must take precedence over public relations, for nature cannot be fooled. Physics isn't the most important thing. Love is. It is in the admission of ignorance and the admission of uncertainty that there is a hope for the continuous motion of human beings in some direction that doesn't get confined, permanently blocked, as it has so many times before in various periods in the history of man. The highest forms of understanding we can achieve are laughter and human compassion. I learned very early the difference between knowing the name of something and knowing something. Nobody ever figures out what life is all about, and it doesn't matter. Explore the world. Nearly everything is really interesting if you go into it deeply enough. I think nature's imagination is so much greater than man's. She's never gonna let us relax. You have no responsibility to live up to what other people think you ought to accomplish. I have no responsibility to be like they expect me to be. The scientist has a lot of experience with ignorance and doubt and uncertainty, and this experience is of very great importance, I think. When a scientist doesn't know the answer to a problem, he is ignorant.